everybody. How are you all? I hope everyone is doing fine, right? Okay, thank you. And I welcome you all to my channel Max My Heartbeat. Yes, and today let us start. Let us discuss some important problems in real numbers, which are very important 4 marks problems. Okay, for 10th class students. And before going to start our real numbers important problems, let me inform once again about precautions of COVID-19, which are wearing a mask when you go outside and use sanitizer when you touch the things of others, and maintain social distance if possible. Okay, and so those are the precautions from my side. I hope you will follow. And so now let us discuss about real numbers important problems for 4 marks. Without any delay, let us start the class. Okay, so now let us discuss some important problems in real numbers. So today let us discuss about real numbers. Yes, and important problems, 4 mark problems in real numbers. Yes, like something like show that root 2 is irrational. Yes, that is an important problem. How to solve such problems? Before going to that problems, let us discuss about the definition of irrational numbers. Yes, what are irrational numbers? The numbers which cannot be written in the form of p by q, where p comma q are integers and q not equal to 0. Yes, when these numbers which are written in the form of p by q, where q not equal to 0 are rational numbers. When such numbers are not written in the form of p by q, then such numbers are called irrational numbers. Example, root 2. Root 2 is an irrational number. Root 3 is an irrational number. Root 5 is an irrational number. Root 7 is an irrational number, and so on. And one more, pi. Pi value is something 22 by 7. Yes, some non-terminating and recurring decimals. For suppose pi value is, we can write 3.14 something something. It will be non-terminating. Yes, it will be going on like this. Yes, so pi value is 22 by 7, which is a non-terminating and repeating decimal. So this is a irrational number. Yes, numbers which even the decimal numbers also, which are non-terminating and recurring, are repeating, are called irrational numbers. Okay. Now, in 10th class exams, very important problems, that is show that root 2 is rational. That is example 7 in your textbook. Yes, let us do that. If not, let me complete exercise 1.4, 1 or 2 problems, so that you can solve the remaining problems on your own. So this is your mathematics textbook. Here it is exercise 1.4. So now let us do some problems in exercise 1.4. Okay, so exercise 1.4. Okay, not I will write neatly. Exercise 1.4. In this, why I am discussing exercise 1.4 means, in these problems definitely one problem will get for 4 marks, definitely. That's why I am discussing exercise 1.4. Yes, first problem, prove that the following are irrational. Okay, in this 5 bits are there. Okay, 1 or 2, if not 2 or 3 bits I will do, remaining you do on your own by after listening my class. Okay, So first one I will explain. First one is 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2. Yes. Is 1 by root 2 a rational number or irrational number? Yes. P by Q should be integers here. Yes, 1 is an integer, but root 2 is an integer. Yes, no. That's why this is not a rational number. That only we have to prove. How to prove? For suppose I am taking this 1 by root 2 is equal to A by B, where A comma B are co-primes, comma B not equal to 0. Understood? What I am doing means I am taking my assumption that A by B means this is a rational number first. I am taking that 1 by root 2 is a rational number. Yes. So let means I am taking 1 by root 2 is equal to A by B, where A comma B are co-primes and B not equal to 0. Yes. Now what I will do means I will cross multiply like this. Then I will get B is equal to root 2 A. Yes. Squaring on both sides. If I do squaring on both sides, then I will get B square is equal to root 2 whole square is 2. A square is A square, like that only. Clear? Now let us simplify this. So here B square is equal to 2 into A square. So here I will write clearly here B square is equal to 2 into A square. Yes. So what are the factors of B square here? 2 is a factor and A square is a factor. Yes. So this means, this implies 2 divides B square. This implies 2 divides B. Right? If 2 is dividing B square, then it can divide B also, no? Yes, that is the first part. So if 2 is dividing B, then I can take B is equal to some multiple of 2. So 2 into C. Yes, where C is an integer. Okay. When B is dividing, when 2 is dividing B, then B is also a multiple of 2, right? So 2 into some C. That C may be any integer, maybe 0 or maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, but it is a multiple of 2. Right? Why? Because it is dividing B. Yes, 2 is divides B. That's why B is equal to 2 into C. Is nothing but 2C. Right? Now what I will do means, for suppose this is my equation 1. I will substitute B value in equation 1. Means here. So B value is 2C. So 2C whole square is equal to 2A square. Yes. 2C whole square is equal to 2A square. Okay. I am continuing here. So that is equal to. So okay, no need of that is equal to. So here 2C whole square. 2 square is 4. And C square as it is equal to 2A square. Yes. So here 2 ones, 2 twos. So from this I am getting A square is equal to 2C square. Right? Now again this can be written as 2 into C square. Means what are the factors of A square here? 2 is a factor and C square is a factor. That's why 2 divides A square here. This implies 2 divides A. Right? When 2 is dividing A square, then it can divide A also, no? Yes? Simply see here. For suppose 2 into 2 is 4. Yes? So 4 is equal to 2 into 2. If not, okay, 6 is equal to 2 into 3. Yes? When A square value is 6, B square value is 3. If not, okay. Wait, square I should take, no? Okay, I will take 16. 16 is equal to 2 into 8. Right? So, 2 divides 16. Right? 16 divided by 2 is 8. Right? So, what is the square root of 16? 4. So, 4 also divided by 2. Yes? So when 2 divides a square, 2 divides a also, right? That's why, see here, 2 divides b and 2 divides a. This implies a and b have a common factor 2. Yes, but what we are saying? We are saying that a, b are co-primes, means they have only common factor 1. But we are coming to conclusion that a and b having one more common factor 2. Yes. Okay. Now, so this contradicts our assumption. Yes, that 1 by root 2 is rational, is wrong. Yes, rational is nothing but p by a by b. Yes, a by b is a rational number. That's what I am writing here. So this contradicts our assumption that 1 by root 2 is rational number is wrong. Yes, why? Because a and b have common factor 2 also here, but we are saying that a and b are co-primes. Yes, co-primes means only one factor, that is 1 in common, but we are getting 2 also in common here. Yes, that is wrong. So our assumption is wrong. Therefore, 1 by root 2 is irrational. This is how we have to prove the exercise 1.4 first problem. Clear? I hope everyone understood. Sorry guys, my board is not sufficient. That's why I have written like this. Please adjust. Let first understand the concept, that is important. So please understand the concept and leave everything aside. Don't concentrate on my board how I am writing, but just listen what I am saying and understand what I am saying, that is important. Clear? So now let us do second problem. I hope everybody understood first problem now. Yes. So now let us do second problem. So I am writing this somewhat tough and somewhat neatly now. So at least second problem I will do neatly. Don't worry guys. So now here I am writing small chapter name real numbers. And below that I will write exercise 1.4. This is also small. Why? Because my board will not be sufficient again. Yes. Now second problem in that first Roman. What is that second problem given there? Let us see. I hope everyone understood first problem, right? Okay, thank you. So now second problem, root 3 plus root 5. First Roman, second problem, root 3 plus root 5. Okay, now let us solve this. So now, before going to that, let us prove that root 5 is irrational first, so that you can understand root 3 plus root 5 is also irrational. Okay. So now let us do fourth one, that is root 5. Okay. So now let root 5 is a rational number we are taking first. What I am doing means I am assuming that root 5 is not irrational. Now it is a rational number. Yes. So that I am writing root 5 is equal to a by b. Yes. Root 5 is equal to a by b, where a comma b are co-primes, comma b not equal to 0. Yes. At least now you understand this problem, guys. If anyone is feeling congested in first problem, second problem you understand, then you can do remaining problems very easily. Clear? So now for suppose root 5 is equal to a by b, where a comma b are co-primes and b not equal to 0. Yes, definitely for rational numbers b should not be equal to 0. Yes, this is our assumption. Now by multiplying this here, a is equal to root 5b. Yes, this should be multiplied here. Denominator in here divided by there, it becomes into here. So a is equal to root 5 into b. So again squaring on both sides. Yes, when we do squaring on both sides, we'll get a square is equal to yes 5b square. Okay. So now again I am getting a square is equal to 5 into b square. Yes. So what are the factors of a square here? 5 is a factor and b square is a factor. Right. So I can write now 5 divides a square implies 5 divides a. Okay. If 5 is dividing a square, then 5 is dividing a also. Right. For suppose 100 you take. 100 is divided by 5. If a square is 100, then a is 10. So 10 also divided by 5. Yes, we are getting remainder 0 only. No? If 100 is divided by 5 or 10 is divided by 5, we are getting 0 as remainder. Means if 100 is divided by 5, if 5 is dividing 100 exactly, then 5 is dividing 10 also exactly. Clear? That is what I have written here. 5 divides a square implies 5 divides a. Okay? This is the real time, number example. Clear? Next. Now, what I will do means, anyhow I said that 5 divides a. Right? So, what I will do means, a is equal to 5 into some c, where c is an integer. Okay? Now I am taking a is equal to a is equal to 5 into c. Okay? Now what I will do means I will substitute here in the first equation, that is a square is equal to 5b square. Okay? So a square means 5c whole square is equal to 5b square. So 5b square as it is. Okay? So now 5 square is 25. So 25c square is equal to 5b square. Okay? So 5 ones, 5 5s. So b square is equal to 5c square. Okay? Now again this implies I can write b square is equal to 5 into c square. Yes. So what are the factors of b square now? 5 is a factor and c square is a factor. So that I can write 5 divides b square implies 5 divides b. Okay. So when 5 is dividing b square, then 5 is dividing b. Now only I have explained now 100 divided by 5. There also we are getting 0 remainder, and 10 divided by 5 is also we are getting 0 remainder. That's why here also 5 divides b square implies 5 divides b. Okay. So now 5 divides b, 5 divides a. Therefore a and b have a common factor 5. Right? Now a and b is having a common factor 5. But we are saying that a and b are co-primes here. We are assuming that a and b are co-primes, means they have only common factor as 1. But here we are getting one more common factor 5. So this contradicts our assumption that a comma b are co-primes. Okay? So this contradicts means this is we are getting quite different, means opposite, means our assumption is getting wrong here. That's why therefore our assumption that a comma b are co-primes, our assumption is wrong. Yes, when our assumption is wrong, then automatically we can say that root 5 is irrational. Understood? This is how we have to prove that root 5 is irrational. Okay? So these are the 2 important problems, and in this way only we can solve remaining problems also. If anyone has any doubt, then I can explain remaining problems in the next video. Some complicated root 5 plus root 3 something like that are there. Those we'll see in the next video. For today, let us discuss. This is what I wanted to discuss in today's class. I hope everyone understood two problems. Yes, that's all for today. Signing off.